Hello, I'm Shihan Pratansi in Washington. Here are the main stories brought to you by Al Jazeera. The oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico could reach land later on Thursday. That's according to the governor of the U.S. state of Louisiana, who's declared a state of emergency. The oil is leaking at a rate of 5,000 barrels a day. That's up from a previous estimate of 1,000 barrels a day. Tom Ackerman reports.
Jagged red slivers of crude oil streaking across the open ocean and moving closer to shore every minute. This is just the outer fringe of the expanding slick that threatens to become the worst oil spillage the U.S. has seen in a quarter century.
Right now, the waters below us are relatively calm, but the weather forecast calls for the winds to pick up, and by Friday afternoon, that will produce flood tides. That will accelerate the push of the oil sheet right onto the southern Louisiana coastline.
So far, vinyl booms strung along a few beaches are the only kind of barrier deployed against the oil.
Tom Ackerman reporting. Police in Athens have fired tear gas at demonstrators protesting against proposed spending and salary cuts. Many of the protesters were teachers who are already facing wage and pension freezes, as well as tax hikes and cuts to their bonuses. The protest was organised by the left-wing Syriza party. The government's considering imposing further austerity measures on workers in order to please the IMF and the EU. Al Jazeera's Barnaby Phillips reports from Athens.
The Athens Stock Exchange rose today amidst expectation that a deal for a rescue bailout of this country is close. That's the good news for Greece. The bad news, of course, is the expectation that such a deal will be accompanied by yet more austerity measures, by which I mean more tax rises, the possibility indeed of pay cuts within the public sector, and perhaps for the first time within the private sector. All this, of course, coming in addition to austerity measures that had been announced earlier in the year by Prime Minister George Papandreou.
Belgium's lower house of parliament has voted to stop women covering their face in public. If the ban is approved by the Senate, Belgium would become the first European country to make wearing a full face veil a crime. And those are the top stories. You can always keep up to date with the news on our website. The address, aljazeera.net/English.